Welcome to the HyperFast Agent Podcast. I'm your host, Keri Shull, and today we're going to take a look behind the scenes with top technologies in the real estate space to help take your business to the next level. Let's go. Welcome to the HyperFast Agent Podcast. I'm here with Andrew Flachner, the president and co-founder of RealScout, and you guys are blowing up, right?
Yeah, we've had a lot of growth in the past few years.
Okay, so can you share, we have real estate agents from around the country that are tuning in, just a little bit about what RealScout is and how it impacts agents' business?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I can start with how RealScout was born.
Yeah, please.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I started selling real estate at a young age. I was in high school when I started selling homes.
Wow.
And I realized very quickly that my clients were being held captive by platforms that I didn't have visibility into or control over. The national search portals where my consumers were searching for new homes and seeing what their homes were worth. And I felt like that was driving a wedge between my clients and myself.
Sure.
So I founded RealScout to solve that problem. RealScout is a platform that sits at the middle of your funnel to incubate everyone in your database. And that means potential home buyers are going to get our property alerts, and any of your potential home sellers, maybe they're homeowners, they'll get home value alerts. But it's really designed to keep you top of mind so that when they are ready to transact, they're thinking about you and they'll reach out to you.
Okay, cool. That makes total sense, because I'm assuming if somebody is searching within and you're keeping them warm, right? If they start to shift their criteria, you can see that right in the app, right?
Absolutely, and we'll notify you about that. We have a full live activity feed, but the really nice thing about some of our integrations, like the integration with Follow Up Boss, is that a lot of that activity will flow right into your Follow Up Boss account, and you can trigger action plans based off of that. You can create smart lists based off of that. And it really helps boost your business without needing to do much. A lot of the process is completely automated.
So you're squeezing more lemon juice out of the lemon, right? Because your conversion, if you have the right tools, your conversion will go up.
That's a great way to put it, because I think in this industry, we're very coin operated. We're looking for more leads, more leads, more leads. But if you talk to the average person at this conference or in the industry, they actually have a huge bucket of leads, but that bucket is a leaky bucket, and the people are flowing out of the bottom of the bucket. If you can actually nurture and convert those folks, it's going to be much higher ROI than going out and buying more leads.
Okay, cool. So is RealScout an app that the agent has on their phone, or do they see it through their phone?
So it is a consumer-facing app, both on mobile and on the web. It is what we call gray labeled, meaning it is going to have your branding on every page of the app, etc. But it is going to feel a little bit more neutral than if you custom designed or custom built an app on your own. And the reason why we do that is that in over 100 hours of interviews with home buyers, we found out that they actually don't trust using an agent app or a brokerage app if it is too heavily branded, because they think they're not seeing listings from other brokerages, right? If I download the ReMax app, I'm the average consumer, I think I'm not seeing the Coldwell Banker or the eXp listings.
Sure.
So we try to strike this neutrality that creates a more impartial experience.
Okay, cool. And how do you steer clients to continue coming back to RealScout? Because I'm sure a lot of agents, if they knew, hey, my clients are going to engage with this and it's going to help me to know when's the right time to reach back out to them, that would excite them. But how do you steer them away from Zillow and Realtor.com and other sites that the reason you founded the company is to get that control? So how do you maintain that control?
Yeah, it's a bit of a nuanced conversation. I think that if you're trying to compete at the top of the funnel with Zillow, I think that's a fool's errand. You're going to lose that battle.
Yeah.
But at the middle of the funnel, once you already procure a lead and establish that relationship and establish that trust, they want to use your software. The reason why they're not is because you're letting them down. If you're sending them MLS alerts or IDX alerts, they're probably getting something better through Redfin or through Zillow. And so RealScout has state-of-the-art technology at the middle of the funnel, but it's all geared around collaboration. The other reason why they'd want to use our software is because you are using the software with them.
Yeah.
Consumers don't want to take a screenshot of Zillow and text it to you and wait for you to log into the MLS. They want to be on the same page, but again, the MLS alerts that you may be sending or the IDX alerts you might be sending are probably letting them them down. And one of the ways that IDX lets consumers down is through alert timeliness.
Yes.
Especially in a low inventory market. It'd be interesting for any of the people watching this podcast to actually track and measure how long it takes their IDX provider to send a listing to a consumer. If you look at Zillow, Redfin, or our company, RealScout, they usually send within a few minutes of each other, but some of the other IDX vendors out there might take 5, 10, 15 hours, and consumers are not going to wait around.
Well, and in my market, I don't know about you guys, but in my market, that's the difference between getting the house or not getting the house. So that's a really critical differentiator. Can we take a look at what the actual, like what the client would see in a demo video that you have?
Absolutely, let's run it.
Okay, let's take a look.
The consumers in your marketing database are at various stages of their real estate journey. Buyers, sellers, and the vast majority of them somewhere in between. And at every stage, it's critical for clients to access the most reliable and actionable information, such as which listings are hitting the market, what their home is worth, and how much their neighbor's home sold for. There's just one problem. Throughout their real estate journey, clients are using websites and apps that aren't powered by you, which means someone other than you is nurturing and converting business that could be yours. What if you could harvest more future transactions from your database? This model of automatically nurturing your database at each stage of the client lifecycle is called an engagement loop. Top producing agents are using these engagement loops powered by RealScout to earn millions of dollars in commissions. Here's how it works. You can set buyers up for listing alerts on RealScout the same way you would on the MLS. Unlike many IDX websites, you can create advanced searches using all the MLS criteria, or activate an integration to completely automate the process. Our award-winning listing alerts get to your clients within minutes, and they're personalized for each client using natural language. And when buyers click through, it's even more powerful than what clients expect from the portals. Because here, it's all about collaboration. Clients can rate listings, request showings, and even calculate commutes. They can leverage the power of AI to organize their favorite properties and compare them side by side, room by room. Plus, it all works great on mobile with RealScout's powerful native apps. But what if one of your previous buyers is ready to sell? With RealScout, your entire database can receive monthly home value estimates and recent sales in the neighborhood. And to remind clients that professional advice is often more reliable than an algorithm, we'll direct them to you for a CMA. Your clients will soon treat your branded RealScout account as the center of their real estate universe. As an agent, you'll have complete visibility into your pipeline. See if a buyer viewed a property several times or if a seller lead is ready to see what their home is worth. And with push notifications, you'll never miss a conversion moment. RealScout is simple to implement, works alongside your existing website and CRM, and once you've added clients, it runs automatically. Need more convincing? RealScout has been ranked best in class by media outlets and major real estate brands. Tom Ferry says RealScout is for people paying attention not only to the now of real estate, but where it's going. And agents using RealScout are simply doing more business. Learn how you can automatically uncover ripe sales opportunities from your database. That's the power of an engagement loop. That's the power of RealScout.
That was pretty sweet, right? So the natural questions that are coming up for me as a team leader, because I don't use RealScout right now, part of what I'm doing is educating myself in these interviews. And I figured while I'm educating myself, why not educate you guys? How do you work and integrate with other technology? Like as an example, Yalopa right now is like it's integrated with Hub and I use it really closely. So how would that work?
Yeah, so most of the people who sign up with RealScout are not replacing existing tech with RealScout. RealScout is going to nurture your database, but we're not going to be your top of funnel website or your top of funnel lead gen machine. So it used to be the old way of doing real estate is that you'd find one vendor who does it all. and it's an end-to-end solution, but what that means is they probably didn't do anything particularly well.
Yes.
And so what the future of real estate is find point solutions that are just best in class. Like a great example would be Follow Up Boss. It's a really, really great CRM, and it works for a lot of people. A lot of people trust YLopo for their top of funnel lead gen. Fantastic. I just spoke to an agent yesterday who runs a team, Albert Vasquez. He's a huge YLopo fan. He generates a lot of rain at the top of the funnel using YLopo, and then he sends all of those leads to RealScout because we're going to do a really good job to warm those leads up, nurture them, and then make sure that when those clients are ready to raise their hand and buy or sell a home, that RealScout's going to notify him. So we sit at the middle of the funnel, we know what we do well, and we do the incubation piece of it really well.
Okay, cool. And is your focus on incubating both buyers and sellers?
That's right, yeah. For the first 7 or 8 years at RealScout, all we did was buyer incubation, and so that's why we have the really robust data feeds from the MLS. But a few years ago, we started incubating sellers, and that's been paying huge dividends for a lot of our customers. I mean, these are all of our success stories on the table here, and Gary Ashton, #1 Remax team in the world, he launched RealScout about 20 days ago and is using RealScout to nurture his sellers, and within 20 days, he had 49 homeowners asking for CMA requests. That represents about $600,000 in potential GCI for him.
Yeah, that's amazing. So a couple other integration questions and like how you partner with. What about the relationship with Fellow? I know a lot of top teams are using Fellow, so how does that work? Because they're incubating sellers as well.
We have a lot of mutual customers with Fellow. Fellow is really great. It's been nice establishing a relationship with their founder, Ryan. Fellow does a really great job with seller nurture. It doesn't do anything on the buyer nurture piece. So some people are using Fellow for seller nurture and then RealScout for buyer nurture. So again, you can kind of mix and match. That's what's nice these days about having a modular tech stack is, if RealScout is best in class at buyer nurture, throw it in there. In 5 or 10 years, if we're not, rip it out and put something else in.
Yeah.
It's better than having like this end-to-end solution where, you're stuck and you're never gonna, rip that thing out.
Absolutely. And I will share with you guys, when I did my research, when I made the decision to switch to Follow Up Boss, it was like a labor of, I was so focused on finding one technology. And finally, the person at Follow Up Boss was like, listen, Keri, if you're looking for something that does everything, it's going to do a really poor job at everything, right? And so you just mentioned that in the interview, and I wanted to point that out because what I was looking for does not exist. It does not exist because all of these aspects of the business, there's different technology and tools that actually take your business to the next level. And so what I've learned in how to make decisions about the tech stack is you've got to really look at each goal that you have and where you're wanting to expand and then find the right partners in that regard. So for somebody that's on the fence, what would you want them to know is like I heard the statistic you just said about Gary's team, that's incredible. What would you want them to know about why they should just make the leap?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's okay to look at your database as a set of buyers and sellers, but for the vast majority of people in your CRM, they're in between those buying and selling moments. And they're gonna have questions about real estate, and are they really coming to you when they have a question? When they wanna know what their home is worth, is the first thing they do picking up the phone and calling their realtor? No, they're probably going to Zillow to see what their estimate is. If they wanna search for homes, are they going to you? No, Zillow is literally a verb, and there's more people searching for the word Zillow on Google than the word real estate. So people are gonna get to Zillow. The question is, how do you intercept that? How do you become top of mind and nurture your sphere of influence at every stage of their client lifecycle? That's what RealScout's about, and that's what we do really well for our partners.
I love it. Awesome. Well, if somebody's watching this and they are interested in learning more, where should they go?
RealScout.com is a great place to start. If you are a Follow Up Boss customer, then go to FubScout.com, which is what our enthusiasts refer to themselves as Fub Scouts, Follow Up Boss and RealScout. And then you'll find a lot geared towards the integration and a lot of the people in the community who are seeing success with the product.
I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. And guys, I hope you got a lot out of that. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the HyperFast Agent Podcast, where we're dedicated to taking your life and business to the next level. Do me a favor and hit the like button below and add a comment. One thing you took from this episode. Did you like the technology or not? And subscribe here.